Usually it's green.
All right, I'll go ahead and call to order the meeting, and we'll start off with agenda item number one, public comment. We have one from Mr. Fisher.
You're assuming, if you'll take one and pass it around. I think I got it. You may have an actual one that's first.
Good morning.
All right. What I've given you guys is just kind of a, I know that from what I've been told, Mr. Dagley or somebody from PRAD has been making like a PR push to try to keep PRAD the way it is, to keep everything the same. And I just kind of wanted to show you guys why it might be better to be separate. What's hurting, why they always ask them to always meet, what's wrong? Why should we change? And I think that like one of the reasons why you should be separate is because you have less chance to make a mistake at both places. And maybe this is a mistake, what I'm showing you here. To start it out, my property out on I-27, it's out where the escape rooms are. This year it went from, I believe, about 10,000 an acre for 3 acres, 100 foot of frontage. This is 3 acres that has 100 foot frontage. It's kind of a flagpole shape. So you have to, it's kind of a road to get to the back acreage. It's surrounded by a trailer park, and it's 3 acres. It went from 10,000 to 70,000 an acre, $210,000 for 3 acres. Well, it wasn't a mistake because when I came and challenged them, now I'm having to go to arbitration because they wouldn't lower it back down. And they lowered it a little bit, but it wasn't back down to like the rates that I'm showing you on this page. That property is at, the one on the picture in the front is right at the loop and Dumas Highway. You can see it's like an old gas station or something that's been bulldozed. There's nothing going on there. The second page shows you the PRAD information. So it shows the arrow shows what the property is. And it shows you that it was $40,000 in 23, but unlike my property, in 3 years, it went down in value. It went down $9,000. It went down about 25%. Okay, now let's go to the next one. The next page has 4 properties here. I was doing this in a hurry because we're going to the city council meeting. But there's 3 properties that I gave you the PRAD information. I updated this because I took the truth taxes button and it showed like 80 cents being paid on these, but it's not much better. You got 273 acres worth 700,000 and a total tax bill of 170 bucks. Look at the one on the right. That's on the east side of the highway. That's almost a mile of frontage. So if you do the math, let's compare it to mine. They're trying to get me at $70,000 an acre. This is frontage for a whole mile. It's about an acre deep, I guess, and a whole mile long. And mind you, this has to be worth a lot because they're putting the interchange there. There's going to be an interchange there and a loop going around. This is going to be worth, it's gold. And they're $2,500 an acre. And the same thing's going on. Every one of these, like, didn't go up a dime. If you go look them up, I don't think I included, they didn't go up a penny in 6 years. So what I'm saying is you're missing a lot of money. There's a lot of money. There's either a lot of money to be had or somebody's getting a discount. I don't know. Is it a mistake? I put in official complaints on these properties when I went and challenged my properties for the last 3 or 4 years. And they still don't go up. Out of 11 properties I put complaints in at the front desk, only one of them went up, and it's still way below. It went up 1,000%, and it still only went up to like $4,000 an acre. And who owns all of this? It's the Atterbury's. And the same thing's going on in Randall County, and I gave them a similar handout, but it was all Randall County properties. But I really believe that there's a benefit here for protecting you guys and making the best decision for your county. I think there's a lot of money being left on the table, is my point here. So I really think you guys should consider I think the long term is like separating and doing your own thing. But I think when I talked to Christy Dyer, she said, well, I don't have a budget. These guys have to make a decision. We have to do something. I said, well, Randall County, they can just pass their budget. But I think what you guys should ask for is an RFP from Randall, because they're the one providing the services. Get an RFP for the contract because it's not like somebody's not budging. You haven't asked for it. Ask for a proposal for what it's going to cost for the next year, because you're probably going to do something immediately to take care of the rest of the year, and then do the analysis and see what it's really going to cost. But I'd like for you to take this into consideration when you're thinking about the total cost of ownership, because I think when you consider this, even though it might cost a little bit more, I think you might find that there's probably a lot more money being left on the table. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. We'll note that issue. All right. Now we'll move this on to item number 2, approval of the minutes from the meeting of June 9th, 2026. Any comments on those minutes? Motion by Cindy, second by Chip. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right, hearing none, the minutes are approved. Okay, with that, we will move on to item 3, and we will enter executive session at 6:40 p.m.
I was just fixing to ask, who's in for that?
That'll move us on to item 4, discussion and possible action concerning the appraisal service contract between the Potter County Appraisal District and the Randall County Appraisal District. Anybody have any actions, any discussions?
I think what needs to be conveyed to the public is that we are in discussion with legal counsel, and we have nothing to say in the public.
Yeah, I do have something I want to direct to the chief appraiser. So, Mr. Dagley, I want to be very careful how I word this. There were some documents that were requested by a member of the public related to our contract that nobody from this board knew existed until that member of the public approached one of the members of this board, and we had to discuss that with our attorney earlier, and I don't want to go into details, but why was the board not informed that that existed?
The contract?
No, the supplemental documents along with the contract.
What supplemental fund?
There's a memorandum, sir.
I guess I don't know what you're talking about.
There was a memorandum that a citizen requested.
Oh, the open
Yes.
records? That was from the appraisal district's
Yes.
attorney?
That related to this contract.
I didn't know I needed to send that to the board.
Well, I mean, do you think it might have been helpful considering the fact that we've been discussing this contract and we probably need to know the history of it?
I didn't think it would be helpful to the board.
Okay. I think that there's an appetite in the future when we're going through matters like this, if a citizen requests something of that nature and the request turns up a document like that, for that to be provided to the board.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Because it shouldn't take a board member having to get approached by a member of the public and then 3 or 4 months later getting it. Whenever we're in this discussion, it would have been helpful at the start.
Yeah.
So, and on another note, I would just say, what I would suggest is just be a little more cooperative with the board members when they request documents like that, because including statements in emails to board members that come off like legal threats isn't helpful.
I was directed by the CAD's attorney.
I understand,
to
but
include
you
that
were
information.
making a legal conclusion that I don't think was accurate to begin with, but also I don't think that was your place.
I was on the advice of our attorney making that statement, as I was told to.
Who was our attorney, or your attorney, that you worked, who gave you that advice?
It was with Purdue, Brandon, Fielder, Collins, and Blunt.
Brad's attorney.
It was-
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the appraisal district's attorney. That when we have open records requests or other matters that the appraisal district deals with, if we need legal advice, then we go to them and ask them, to make sure that we're doing everything, the right way.
Is the procedure when, someone sends a open records request, if it is unsure of the chief appraiser, if that should be provided or not to a citizen as a qualified under the open records request, is it the procedure of the chief appraiser to then ask, the attorney of PRAD, which is Purdue, Brandon
Right.
Fielder?
Yes, sir.
And then do they draft a letter if they seem like that's attorney-client privilege, we can't give that. So is it Purdue, Brandon, and Fielder that then drafts the letter to the Attorney General to ask them for an Attorney General's opinion?
Yeah, they'll give us assistance with that.
Okay.
So we've done a couple of those lately, and they've given us assistance with that, and then we submit it after making any edits that we need to, and we submit it, not the attorney submit it.
Okay.
Mr. Dagley, I would also advise you that there is an open records decision that was issued by the Attorney General's office in 2002, and it's number 676, that already addresses this matter as far as the legal liability, both criminal and civil, for disclosure of attorney-client privileged information. And what you'll see when you read that is there is a distinct difference between privileged and confidential information. And the statute that you cited in that email relates to confidential information, so it's not even applicable to what you said.
I'm not an attorney, I went on the advice of my attorney on what I included.
Okay, I'm just saying in the future, just maybe be more cooperative with the board members.
I provided the document.
Well, you didn't provide it until he requested it.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody have anything else?
I just, can I add one more thing? I did want to convey this to the citizens as well. There still seems to be quite a bit of misinformation out there in the community as far as what we're trying to do, and I would say just kind of trust the board. We're working through it. And, there's no need to worry about the doomsday scenarios, because I don't think that's even something that's on anybody's mind.
Not with any of these.
Yeah. Despite what information is being thrown out there by people who don't need to be throwing the information out there, I don't think that there's anything to worry about.
Mr. Dagley,
Yes, ma'am.
would it be possible that we get informed as to when there are open records requests? Doesn't have to say about what, just that we've had an open record, kind of like when Carson gives us the statements of
We're saying just a list to
somebody
say.
did something
Say
really
we had
good.
20
you know.
open requests.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, so like-
anything.
Sort of like when he does his
Not the
report.
detail of it.
No, but
Yeah.
Carson could let us know.
I mean, I don't know how many you get.
Mhm.
Because we like hearing from Carson.
Just need-
Just like when Carson tells us how
Probably.
great our office staff is,
No.
and, just include that too. Say,
Does
oh,
that
by
come-
the way, we've had this many open requests.
Does that come through Carson? Is it- I mean, I don't know. if it's
Would that be a problem,
that's Not under his privy, but.
Do
We can do that.
So when somebody submits an open records request, does it go to you or does it go to somebody else?
Go to me, or it could go to info or main email.
So you typically don't know when that stuff comes in? Okay.
So it comes to you first, and then you take it to the, whatever person in the department that is a biblical, I can't even stop talking.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you don't think.
Yes.
So, and then you facilitate the dissemination of that information when, like say that question goes to Mr. Dagley. He answers that question on a piece of property, then do you take that information and disseminate it to the taxpayer, or does Mr. Dagley do that?
I'll be the one to answer them. I mean, there are certain situations that the other person needs to answer, but I'm typically the one that
Okay.
answers.
What are the most common things you get requests for? I know like at our office, we get them all the time for like the delinquent roll and everything. What do you guys get them for?
Property cards, I mean, those are typically our biggest request, but
The entire appraisal roll.
The-
So they
the
come to
entire-
Carson, but we have an info@prad.org email address that several of us monitor. So it's mostly, you tell me if I'm wrong, the appraisal roll, any records, they'll request sales information.
Have you guys gotten many requests related to the contract and this negotiation? If you had to ballpark it, how many do you think you've received?
5 or
4 or
6.
5?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like it's that many.
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
to be honest, we used to not get a whole lot of insurance. So it is a lot in that
Yeah.
aspect.
I mean, besides the appraisal cards and the appraisal roll, or, you know, maybe something related to appraisal, typically we've had 0 open records requests.
I'm guessing it's similar to the public comment.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You still cut me off. So I think probably if it's possible, just like Ms. Hunt just asked, when we get the report about, in regards to the public made this amount of requests or comments about an appraiser or whatever, can we just get, doesn't have to be detailed, at least for me,
Yeah.
just like, we received 0 open records requests, or we received 22. And if a board member wants to, like, say, they can call you later and say, hey, what's kind of going on? Is that
Yeah.
possible?
We can do that.
Okay.
Is that something you guys want, like weekly, just once?
No, just quarterly or a normal report.
It
TLO report?
It's just when I going, oh, is there something else that we maybe need to be knowing about,
I mean,
So we get a
obviously it's gone from
spike.
0 to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 5.
Well,
Like the
mainly,
contract
mainly
thing
about what Mr.
blindsided us.
Galtier's reasoning is because we don't want somebody to come up to us, like Bitsy said,
Yeah.
when we're walking through the store and they're like, well, I made a bunch of
Yeah.
requests, and we're like, what do you
Yeah,
got?
we just need to know how often you want it. If you wanted this TLO report every meeting, you can do that. If you want to weekly.
I think
Just whenever.
Because Wayne does his other reporting on the other things, so,
we don't.
I mean, it's not,
do that.
Again, I don't want detailed information, I don't,
no, just that we had 5
and we
requests
may,
for
I mean, there may be a
contract.
question from a board member,
Or board
okay, Carson, how
openings.
many of these were about this, how many were, you know?
I mean, do you want every appraisal card request? Because I'm guessing.
No.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's not
So
really-
just the,
That's really not an open record.
Right.
Just the
Yeah, I
numbers.
think
Open
more,
records.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah, just open records, not
okay.
just a request for a card or something. Open records.
I can do that.
We get lots of
They can't just-
records,
they can't-
requests for the appraisal card because the website won't show the sketch. And so
Oh, yeah, because we
they'll
took all
monitor
those
that.
off. That's what it is for the cards.
Yeah.
You used to have to go down to the city courthouse and go in and pay your $5.
Okay, anybody have anything else they want to discuss?
Were you planning on providing a presentation on item 4?
I don't need to. Whatever you want me to do, I'll
I
provide.
think it's okay if we don't receive one, because I don't think it's germane to our discussion.
Okay, sounds good.
I
That's
don't
fine,
either.
fine with me. Just wanted to make sure nobody had any questions or there didn't need to be any
It's all
discussion
hypothetical.
on that, so.
No, I kind of echo what Mr. Galtier said. I think we're working through it. Just give us time.
I agree with that. Okay. Since there was no action and that was just discussion, I'll move on to item 5, discussion action to order a general election for the election of 3 directors, place 1, 2, and 3 to be held on November 3rd, 2026. Item 5.
This is document, the order was attached to your packets for the board to order this election November 3rd, 2026. We just need the board to take action to order that election, and she gets signatures, and then we'll provide that to the elections administrator.
Does it look like we need signatures from almost everybody on the board? Do you have to get Mr. Schaefer's?
I don't know if we have to, but we'll check into that for sure. And I think everybody that's here is majority, but we'll double check with the election administrator and get guidance on that. But
No,
I would say get signatures of everybody that's here while we can.
I do not know who is one, currently 1, 2, and 3.
I thought I saw one, you're 3. And I think you're 1 and you're 2?
I think I'm
Is that-
too.
Okay.
I moved one. I think that Ricky took Wanda's place.
Yes.
I remember three, and I don't know who won. Who did you say was one?
Mr. Warren too.
Okay, so do I need to make a motion?
Unless there's any other discussion.
The only thing I would ask is, can you just remind the board members who are gonna be up again, what their filing fee is gonna be?
I couldn't tell you just off the top of my head what the filing fee was.
It's $150.
Say that again?
I think it's $150 or $200.
Sorry.
Somebody told me 400.
Yeah, in
I'm
the,
gonna take the 200.
in the last meeting, that we attended, they said it was 400.
So we can get that information back to you, and the election administrator will have that though. And you will, anybody that files for that position will have to do the acknowledgement of duties before you can actually file. I don't know that the election administrator will even let somebody file until that acknowledgement of duties is filed with.
So the
our
person
office.
that's in these seats already, do they have to pay that?
Yes.
Oh, really?
That's it.
And let's go, wait.
Because
Who's,
they're technically up for reelection.
Right.
even though-
Yeah, so it's a reelection.
But I thought if nobody was running against them, then.
But, no,
Then was that something else?
that means if nobody signs up to run against them,
We don't have to pay for
we don't
election,
have to
right?
pay for
We had to pay for it, like, okay, that's what it was. I knew there was something we didn't have to.
So is the filing deadline August 17th?
Correct. Yeah, so, yeah, you're right. If we don't, if you had 3 people file and they each filed for each, you have to be specific what place you're filing for. Because you could have a possibility that all 3 people go in and file for place 1 and nobody files for place 2 or 3. You have to have the election. So, just keep that in mind as you go file for.
you really think there's gonna be a lot of people that file for this and have to pay
He has
$400?
a hard enough time getting people.
2 for free.
I don't.
think so.
I'm just trying to get information.
I
out
know,
of
sorry, Jeffrey.
you.
We had
No
one
idea.
person sign up last year, so. Or the
2
previous.
years ago.
What's gonna happen?
Well, then if
What's
nobody
that?
runs, then we'll
If
be.
nobody runs, then we'll be in the same boat we were
Well, us as a board will
in
have to.
2024, when Mr. Warren
To
was
fill-
the only one, and then you appointed 2 people to fill those positions. The board would be able to appoint to fill those positions.
Okay, all right, so,
So I make a motion?
okay, I got a motion from
I'll
Mitzi
second it.
to order the general election, second from Thomas Warren III. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right,
Who
hearing
was
none.
place 3?
Yeah, I guess you need
Okay.
it, Fred.
I'll pass this around. Zach has to sign the top part. If you guys would mind signing each one of those under his, and then Zach, yours is at the top.
Yes.
I can tell you who's in each place if you want me to, just to confirm.
If you want.
I ain't paying.
Place 1 is Thomas Warren II, place 2 is Joey Wheeler, and place 3 is Craig Gaultier. And so the next term, is kind of, to get to staggered terms, it's a little weird, I guess. The legislature had to put some specific language in to do this. So the first meeting of 2027, the 3 individuals that are elected as directors will basically draw straws. One person is a 2-year term, the other 2 will be on a 4-year term. And that person on a 2-year term will be up for election again for a term that would start in 2029. And then that term would be 4 years. That makes sense?
Clear as mud.
I know.
Okay, move us on to item 6, report on value changes under section 2525 of the Texas Property Tax Code. That was emailed to you, assuming it's just more exemptions and things of that nature.
Yes.
Anybody have any questions on those? Okay. Item 7, report from the Taxpayer Liaison Officer.
Yes, we received a note, handwritten note, complimenting Dylan at Myanston on his professionalism. So that is great to see during our busy time.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice. Very good. Good to see that for you. Thank you, Carson. All right, item 8, discussion regarding agenda items and the date of the next meeting. I think currently, and next meeting is in September.
Sometime in September. It's scheduled, we've got a day, but we're gonna have to push it up from the day that we had scheduled originally because we assumed we would have the budget approved by that point.
Okay.
So to be safe to make sure we get a quorum and have the meeting on time, we'll have to move that up. But I hadn't finalized the date because I didn't know how often y'all were gonna be from now until then.
I don't see us meeting before that time. I could be wrong,
Just
but
2 months, so.
we will, I don't see that happening.
We had, the day that we had initially, I believe, was
Ninth.
September 9th. If nothing else, we would need to move it to the 8th. We have to have actually, we may need to go to the 7th, but we can circle back with you and confirm a date and make sure we can get a quorum.
Okay.
So the 7th is a Labor Day.
We don't want to do it on the 7th.
I mean, I'll think I'll be here. I'll be working.
Can we just do it in August?
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it late in August, maybe, if that would work.
Like August 27th? That's a Thursday.
You want to just touch base with me and try to
Yeah.
do August?
Not me. I'll be in Austin the last 2 weeks of Austin. That's what we're on, August.
We'll figure out the date.
Okay.
We may have to have Jessica reach out to everybody.
The 25th, I'll be gone for that whole week
Can I just
of August.
Can I just offer one thing about future agenda items, since that's relevant to number 8?
Yeah.
Just as kind of a comment, just kind of think ahead. I think in the future, it would be helpful for the board if the chief appraiser did not prepare hypothetical documents unless so directed by the board. So just for the future, I think some things we don't need to discuss unless it's necessary. So that's all I would offer.
Without being argumentative, I would prefer us, instead of making requests of our chief appraiser of what you think is not right or what you expect out of them, I think what we should have is we should have an item on the next agenda, requesting an executive session to talk about the duties and of expectations, whatever you want to call it, of our chief appraiser.
I think those.
So those grievances, if someone may have one or not, that can be discussed with the chief appraiser. I respect Mr. Dagley deserves a right to, to have a conversation with that, and I think it's more respectful for the board. If a board member has an issue or not issue, those things need to be taken care of since we are the direct supervision of Mr. Dagley. So can we have that on the next agenda to have that discussion?
I think that'd be beneficial because I don't know that, I've been on board now for 2 years and I don't know that we've ever had a conversation quite like what you're suggesting, just to kind of refresh everybody on it. So I don't have a problem with that at all.
I just kind of take issue with kind of
Sure.
the tone that was going just then.
Sure.
Mr. Dagley deserves, some kind of discussion.
I will say it's completely up to him whether he wants to have that in executive session or not. We can put it on the agenda, but if he chooses for that conversation to be open and for the public.
It's where,
It's agenda items for the next
there's,
meeting. It definitely is.
in the eyes of the law, open meetings, there's only three reasons you can go into executive session. One, the purchase of real estate. Number 2 is employment matters. And number 3 is to consult with your attorney on legal matters. This falls under
It does.
since we are in direct supervision with Mr. Dagley, I think it should be on the agenda. If a member of this board wants to state what he expects out of him or not, that should be an executive session. That's not up to Mr. Dagley to decide if he wants to have it in open session or not.
But we can't handcuff him. So it's like if he decides that he wants to have it in open session, that's
But
That's
we
what-
definitely can put that on the
Yeah.
agenda, there's no
So,
reason we
I
can't.
think it's just fair to him.
I
and fair to
agree,
everybody.
I agree, but it's his choice.
Okay.
But I think that would be helpful and educational.
So, other items for that meeting would obviously be approving the budget. Is there anything else? Quarterly investment?
Quarterly investment report, the reappraisal plan, sorry. Reappraisal plan.
Yep, and. Yeah, that should be all.
Anybody have anything else? Any other discussion about agenda items? Okay, then we move on to item 9 and we are adjourned. Thank you.